3-eye atlas is this object that they said is supposed to be coming into our solar system, and actually a chance that it may collide with Earth. I'm not worried one bit. You'll see why. You will see why. This isn't the first time they seeded this kind of propaganda. There is an agenda in which I will break down to this. This kind of doomsday fear-mongering is so necessary for many of the new implementations that they want to bring forth as far as it concerns the planetary defense systems. The object entering our solar system, the mass shootings, the racial tension, all of it is part of the same one agenda. But I've been breaking down each one in their own aspect because they're going to come. It's all a unique agenda that's cloaked in each little event, but each one tied to a new world order. But in order to understand what I'm getting at here, as far as I know for a fact that it's BS, it is because there is something called a firmament dome. Now, the people in power know what the firmament dome is. They know nothing physical can enter this place. Nothing physical can exit this place. It's simple science. And I'm going to explain that science to you right now. You see, the firmament dome represents a cosmic threshold whereby which all of the states of matter that govern the layer of reality that we're in right now are no more. Think about that a minute. Let me give a shout out to Ghetto Voice Box. Thank you so much for your support, for being the first person to send in a super chat. Actually, you the second person. Thank you and Joshua for sending in super chats. Thank y'all. I want to welcome the new members. I just saw this, so shout out to Creative Assets, Leonard Robinson, Luna Rose. Shout out to Stationary Earth, Akira Bowden. Sorry. Shout out to Motivation at Hand, Vegan for Life to Death. Like that. Shout out to the Chronicles of Lucky No, or is it Lukey? Shout out to you. Thank you all for becoming new members. Appreciate that. So we got to break this stuff down. And it's very important that I talk about the firmament dome before we watch any video, before we debunk any scientist, which we're going to do. It's important we learn about the firmament dome. So the firmament dome is a barrier, like I said, whereby which all of the elements on our periodic table that we've known, that barrier represents everything that make up this layer of reality, all the elements and all of the states of matter for those elements. Solid, liquid, gas. The other state of matter is light, or what they call radiant matter or plasma. Shout out to Charlie Perez. The state of matter that we call light, many ancient people said that is a transitional state of matter, meaning that light is the state of matter that all of the other states of matter cross over through. It's like a portal. You see, that's why the stars are stargates. So after you go from solid, liquid to gas, you go to light. And everything turns into light no matter what state of matter you're in right now. And if you don't turn into light, you're not an organic or sentient. You don't have what's called a soul. But check this out, right? Light is like, if our reality is a hologram, it's projected with light. Like light is acting as water, wind, fire, trees. If everything around you is basically a shell, a hologram of projected light, and we live in a holosphere that's not physical, everything is projected light, then solid, liquid, and gas is light vibrating at lower levels. Light vibrating at lower levels is what you call darkness. It ain't the absence of light. It's the dimness of light, or the dumbness of light, which is why if you're bright, you're more wise. When we speak, you know, and you're in darkness, you don't have knowledge. Or so the thing is, just to make something clear, our current reality represent a checkpoint. The firmament don't represent, like, its levels and layers to reality. Your current level of reality is a certain point in time for you to understand and transition this current frequency band and cross over into other forms. When the scientists say, when NASA say we can't make it through the Van Allen belts, they can't, but we can. The Van Allen belts are called the ethers, the neters, and many other ancient cultures. They was dealing with the firmament dome. I'm gonna be pulling up images here in a minute, but nothing made out of anything on our periodic table can enter this place or exit this place. Every element you see on your periodic table. If this place is a prison, these are the only items allowed in and out of it. So there may be other elements, but we'll never discover them here. We must transcend this place. In other words, the ancestors spoke about higher dimensions to be born into, to different layers of reality. Space is a program that they're running to keep y'all from knowing that there are other worlds and they are inhabited by beings. And they got you believing in a bunch of rocks floating in darkness with nothing else intelligent out there, no life on it. The ancestors said there's no darkness out there with stuff floating around. There actually is a dome or a barrier that you will reach at the ends of this world right here. And that is the beginning of a whole nother reality. And the reason that we can't cross over is for the same reason when two oceans meet, but they don't mix. The fish in this ocean stay there, and the fish in this ocean stay over there. It's based on the law of density. What the firmament, and they found this out in the 40s when they did Operation Fishbowl. What they found out was that there's a barrier that we can't cross above us. And we reach a point where we digging in the ground where we can't dig anymore. It's too hard. Something has us confined. Something has us confined. And the only way that we can get out of here is through a spiritual awakening, some sort of out-of-body experience, ascension. It's like the dome literally represents your head. Like I've been teaching y'all, the ancestors said each one of us is in our own universe right now. And all of our universes are online, like an online gaming experience. And that's the way this simulation is made. And that death is each one of us awakening from the simulation. That'll be like a person's avatar leaving the video game and they quit playing. They put the controller down. Maybe they had something to do. That's death. It's awakening from a dream that we call life. The dome is literally your own head. For example, if you were asleep in a dream, the only way out would be awakening. But they would tell you that the universe looked just like a human head, man. If you pull up any conception of the flat earth universe and put it next to the human brain, you will see this. These are the universe is you're inside of your own base body. There are different layers of reality, and the higher layers represent you going out of the dream. The lower layers represent you falling asleep, going into more dreams, a dream within a dream, dual dreaming, quadruple dreaming. The universe, the stars up there are the ends of your neurons of a macro body. Have you ever seen Medusa with all the serpents coming out of her head? Every star in the sky is a gateway to allow the soul, which is seated in the head, to go to any parallel reality. Every star in the sky is connected to the star that's inside of your brain. There's a bright white light in your head. It's the same thing what them stars is, and it's connecting you to those. So when you dream, your consciousness leaves this body, which is in this world, and it transcends, and it, whichever star that it goes to, that's a whole nother you inside of that parallel reality, living out a life. So when you dream, you just shift realities, and at that moment, you forget that you even here. I gotta go into this for me to debunk this. If I don't go into this, people ain't gonna know what I mean when I say can't nothing get in here and can't nothing get out. Anything that's attacking us from the sky is advanced government technology. Tesla warned about this. Why can't we go past the firmament dome? What did we figure out in Operation Fishbowl? This is what we found out. We found out that the ancestors was right, and that our reality ends at a certain point, and that represent a whole nother reality, y'all. It's like when two oceans meet. And before I go into the debunking and get into this rock that they talking about, I gotta give y'all this, because it's very important to see how I'm gonna debunk them based on what I'm gonna debunk them on. Okay, so let me show you what the ancestors said. Here go what the ancestors said. I'm not making up my own stuff. Here it is. The ancients taught that we were enclosed in like these different layers of reality, and that our layer on this earth realm is the most bottom one. They call this the underworld. You know, the earth is the lowest. It's your baby. Your first incarnation starts in the lowest realm down here. I'm showing you right here in the bottom right corner. And when you die, your soul goes up to this other dimensional plane and is born again up there. And you keep passing on till you go up the stairway to heaven. Each time it's like waking up from a dream out of a dream out of a dream. And each time you remember what you are, like, oh yeah, because you know when you dreaming, you forget about this world. It's only till you wake up that you're like, oh yeah, this place. Yeah, this place, right? So each time you die, it's like an awakening where you're like, oh yeah, this is where I fell asleep at when I went. You see, life is but a dream. You got to know this to see how I'm going to debunk them. They don't want to teach this ancient knowledge, but I will, even if it get me mocked. Now listen, the ancestors taught that all of us is basically at the North Pole right now, our real body. And it's sleep like in the Matrix. It's hooked up to this machine, and it's dreaming of this whole little life experience. And that we can't get back to our real body until we reincarnate 7 times. Our consciousness has to ascend up this stairway to our real body that's sleeping. It agreed to come into this simulation. And when you get through with this thing, you will remember why you signed up for it, just like you remember everything come back to you when you wake up from a dream. You don't even remember this world when you're dreaming. But the moment you wake up, you like, oh, you snap back to reality. Consciousness shift. And when you get to heaven or the base reality, you're going to snap back like, oh yeah, shit, I'm a god. I forgot I was a god that fell down into these fake little illusion worlds. And that's what the ancestors taught. I made this collage here. I'm going to zoom in and show you that conception closer. Here it is right here. And this is ancient Babylonian, Mesopotamian cosmology. They say you start at the bottom like Drake. You're down here in the earth realm, and then each incarnation you come on up, the higher you go, the better you get, the more powerful. Like Jet Li, the one. Go watch that. It's based on this. But that's why when they said we can't make it through the Van Allen belts, people without a soul can't ascend. And the people that's working with the serpent tongue, NASA, the people who wear the symbol of the serpent, they're pulling off the great deception that the Bible spoke of that's going to deceive many, which is to teach them that space is out there and that Earth is under attack. We got to get off Earth. The only way out is through the Neuralink and through transhumanism. That's what it's going to lead to. And it's all because we don't know the ancient truth that we're going to be deceived. Because they're going to use doomsday propaganda to create scenarios on Earth that are very scary, man. When they go to bringing out these new weapons and this stuff that Tesla was warning about, they got cymatic-based weapons that can dismantle the Brooklyn Bridge in 5 minutes, Tesla said. And it ain't even got to fire a bomb or even have no chemical reaction or nothing. They are finna start getting into the type of weaponry that people only gonna describe as that's God coming back and the world ending. But people only gonna say that because they don't know the technology that Tesla was warning us about. The stuff that they can do with sound, the stuff that they can do with electromagnetic energy, magnetism, it make bullets laughable. It make hand grenades laughable. The aerial attacks that they can do with manipulating the upper atmosphere and creating microwave effects in certain areas, it makes your big Gatling guns and all that, you will beg them to bring that in. The stuff that they're going to bring out, they're going to only describe it as alien-like. Now, this is advanced government technology that they've been had. Tesla didn't want them to have it. Everything from putting voices in your head in the end of days. When they bring out all of this technology that was in ancient Egypt, what Tesla was talking about, they're going to tell you that ain't us. That's aliens. We don't know what it is. Is it an asteroid? Is it some technology? You see the canvas, that you see what they already setting this thing up, right? Now, nothing can get out of here. Nothing can get in. The Bible even spoke this science when it said, no flesh and blood can enter the kingdom of heaven. You got to have a spiritual ascension to transcend this layer of reality, or what they call travel through the Van Allen belts. Now, what they call the Van Allen belts today are the ethers, the nethers, the multiple layers of reality. They can't travel through them, so they ain't lying to you. They ain't telling you no lies. They can't travel through the Van Allen belts, but however, that ain't got nothing to do with you. You're a child of God. You have a soul, and it's gonna really be beneficial to know that in these end of days. What I mean by the end of days is the end of our way of living as we know it. We're entering a time where the beast is gonna be given power, meaning AI will be giving the power to police man. We enter an autonomous, privatized government under dictatorships. It's always been that way. But we going back to that medieval system they started with. So people, understand that we are enclosed in a firmament dome. And each of these worlds that you see on the screen right here are like these oceans right here. They can't mix. And the reason that the beings that are on the other side of the Van Allen belt from ours can't come to us and we can't come to them, because they get over there through death, y'all. You got to die to get to that other world or have an out-of-body experience. So listen, the fish in this ocean can't go to the other ocean because it can't live in that water. You hear me? So ain't no such thing as a bunch of planets, and if you land on one of them planets, then you can't breathe a atmosphere, you can't handle their weather. You know how they tell you each of these balls up there is a planet. Each one of them stars is a hole, a stargate, a opening that's leading you behind the darkness. Remember, when you look at the night sky, you see all of that darkness. That's like a wall. That's the firmament dome. The stars are the cracks in the dome that the people with souls made when they fell into this place. Everybody with a soul got a star in the sky. Let me show you something real quick, what the stars are. Because this whole deception that they about to pull off is deeper than me talking about a comet. It's about the agenda. Here's what the stars are, y'all. This is what they are. They are breaks in the ether. And these breaks get there from every soul that fell into here. When the sperm pierced the egg, at the same time your soul was piercing through the veil. This pattern is what they tell you a star is when you look at stars. This is the pattern of a star. Every star in the sky is showing you what's behind. That darkness is a wall. The light that you see is the light from another world behind the wall. There's a hole poked in the wall. The wall is a black wall. It's a veil. That's what you call in space. The stars are the cracks in the veil, showing you the light behind this place from the other side, from the other reality. The only way you can cross over that darkness is to retrace the path that you made when you broke. The only way out of here is the way you came in. Everyone with a soul, you got a hole in the sky that you got to go through to get out of here. In other words, the only people that can get out is the people that came in. It's like a video game. The only people that can get out the video game are the player characters, the real humans that went into the game. Everything else in the game is artificial intelligence. That's the devil. It was there before we got here. The people that was on the earth before Adam and Eve are a hive mind of AI or non-player characters. Now check this out. Every star in the sky is their way out of here. You have a silver cord tethered from this avatar to your real body that's behind this break right here. You're still asleep. You're still asleep on the other side. When you die, your consciousness will leave this body and retrace its path right back to this break that you put up there, that star. And it's going to leave out of here the way it came in and retract itself back through its own portal. So this is how everyone cross over these dimensional planes. No rocket gonna get you out of here. They ain't done it yet. Only way out of here is out of spirituality, proper spirituality, out of ascension. You are the rocket. Nothing physical is too dense. You gotta get light to go up there. And what traps man here is, in order for him to go to space, he needs so much fuel and gas and equipment. Dude, it's like a couple of water tanks worth of fuel. And now you're weighing yourself down. We cannot go to space. Whatever created this thing, did not intend for us to leave unless we go through the rites of passage that all of the ancients spoke of. And it ain't no way around it. The Egyptians wanted to cheat death. A lot of the ancient people wanted to cheat this process of ascension and battering yourself to make it out. And what they did was they trapped themselves here by fusing their minds with Neuralink and AI, trying to extract their own soul up out of here with technology, and now they got trapped. They about to do the same thing in our time with brain-computer interfaces. But every event that you see is leading us there. And I gotta go into this for you to know the agenda behind this. So now that we know that the firmament dome is there, it's based on density, right? The fact that each of these realities, let me show you, is like density, and a density experiment inside of a cup. Let's pull this up. So everyone is separated in their own medium, like that cherry tomato in the dish soap right there in the yellow part right here, right? This ping pong ball will never be able to travel down here to where the boat at, because density is keeping it up there above the lamp oil. Each of these liquids got different densities, so the lamp oil will never fall down there where the honey at, and the milk gonna stay on its bandwidth. This is the Babel Tower. This is what our universe is. It's a bunch of different layered dimensional planes of existence for different beings to live in different mediums, like these two oceans won't mix. And where you see that line that represent two time zones. So if you cross over this side, you in a different time zone, and it's like time travel. And that's what the ethers are. That's what these ethers are. So the fish on this side will never go to this side because they'll die. Their body is made for this water right here. That water is warm, is more dense, right? On the blue side, the water is more dense and is more cold. Then over here is less dense, more warm. The fish can't cross over there to die. That's a death sentence. And that's like you trying to go through the firmament dome. The only way you can go over there is to transform yourself to whatever, to another body that can breathe the water that's right there on that side. And that's what your death is. Your death is when you get your other body that's able to breathe in a higher frequency band above this plane of existence. It's a density law. That's heaven and hell is the law of density. The heavy thing's gonna sink down and they're gonna be stuck in hell like that boat. That boat is like a robot, a big clunky machine, a transhuman that's weighed down with technology you can't ascend. You got a stripper when they say take the clothes off to go to Eden. And when they said Adam and Eve, when they put the clothes on, they fell out of Eden because they got heavy. That's the law of density. They put on another layer and it made them sink. Let me give a big shout out to D-Dub Exclusive. He said, I'm dropping a bomb. My Alabama brother lived 3 times in one day. Power for info, bro. Alabama in the building. Much love to the chat and channel members. Always. D-Dub, appreciate the love. Shout out to everyone that hit the super chat. Charlie Perez, I see you. But I got to go into this so you can see why we can't. So listen. If you look down there where that boat at, just think. Everything in our little world, it's in the same density range or frequency bandwidth as that boat. Look at the boat down in the honey. Everything in our world would be in the same compositional frequency range as that boat. So it may be lighter than that boat or a little heavier than that boat, but it'll never be lighter than the honey that is in. So it'll never be able to ascend through the honey to make it up to the next level. You see what I'm saying? When you try to jump and you fall back on the ground, that ain't gravity. It's the fact that you're in a terrarium full of air, and everything heavier than the air gonna fall down like that boat. If you can get lighter than the air, which is what your spirit is inside of your body. The reason why it just won't shoot up to heaven right now is because it's inside your body. It's like a bubble in the jar under the water. You know, it's like a bubble being trapped under the water. And whatever blocking or holding that bubble down, when that move, the bubble gonna shoot right up. And the thing that's holding your bubble down is your body. When your body is no longer in the way, ain't nothing gonna stop your soul from ascending. So this is all based on the law of density. We can't make it through the firmament dome. We found that out in Operation Fishbowl. There is no element on our periodic table that can get light enough to cross over this barrier. Helium is like one of the lightest gases we got. Guess who owns the most helium in the country? I'm gonna give y'all a minute to type it in the chat. Real shit. This is a quiz. I want to see if y'all know. Guess who bought up all the helium in the 40s? Shout out to my brother Ironwork. He said, keep cooking, family. He dropped the link. And Ironwork, I don't know if you sharing that link with the people. I'll pin your post so that they can check this out, y'all. Yeah, salutes to the brother Ironwork. Appreciate that. Y'all sub up to the brother, man. I'm giving y'all about a minute. Type it in the chat. Who owned the most helium in America? I knew y'all know. NASA. That's right. NASA. You gotta get light to get up out of here. And helium is the lightest thing on the periodic table. I mean, it's the lightest gas that's in bulk. That's like in bulk, that we can harvest in bulk. It's crazy because you got to develop something that's lighter than helium, compress it into, this ain't no chemical reaction science. Think density. You don't need to shoot the boat up to the top of the cup with fire coming out of its ass like a rocket. That's stupid. The layers of the atmosphere are based upon density, and each layer is a lighter layer than the next one. So for you to travel through the Van Allen belts, it ain't about firepower. It's about how light can you get, like a balloon that's floating up. Now, the balloon is full of helium. It's gonna go to a certain height and stop, but we gotta go higher than that. The problem is we can't harvest any gas that's lighter than helium in bulk enough to float us up that high physically, because something don't want you to get out of here. You know why? The gas that's lighter than helium is actually already on the other side of that barrier. What the barrier represents is the lightest gas on our periodic table, which is the heaviest gas for whatever the next world is. You see the problem we got? Do you see the problem we got? They know that, but they lying to y'all. I'm gonna say that again so you can see the problem that we got while we can't make it through the firmament dome. The lightest layer of our atmosphere. Guess what? The lightest element on our periodic table is a type of gas. Whatever that gas is, that represents the last layer of the atmosphere, which what they call, that's the firmament dome. That's the barrier. Whatever that gas is on that higher plane, it's the lightest gas on our periodic table. Now, guess what? That's the highest layer. That's the, if you get through that, you cross through the firmament. But here's the problem. The lightest gas on our periodic table is the heaviest gas in the next world. How you gonna get a gas lighter than your highest one if the only place you can go to get a lighter gas is out of this world, but you need that gas to get out of this world? That's like saying my car is on empty, but in order for me to drive my car, I gotta get to the gas. But you see what, that kind of thing, that's a flawed example, but you get what I'm saying. The gas that we would need to get us past the firmament is already past the firmament. Just like what you see in this cup example. If the boat could fill itself up, if hypothetically speaking, right? If the boat could fill itself up, let's say with lamp oil, it will start ascending and levitating up through them layers. It'll be like a bubble in the ocean. It'll be like this cherry tomato. If this cherry tomato got hollow and you somehow was able to inject a light liquid in it that's less dense than the dish soap, it'll actually rise up from the dish soap, just like helium cutting through the air, ascending through the layers of the atmosphere. A bubble at the bottom of this cup will float all the way through each layer to get to the top, and it'll rejoin back with the air that's in the atmosphere like a fart. But the bubble won't stay at the bottom because air is lighter than all of these mediums, these liquids. That's like your soul. Can't none of these dimensional planes hold your soul forever, because your soul is lighter than each of these dimensional planes. It's just that it get trapped in a body that makes it chill a minute. Then when the body die off, it continues to float back up. You see, and that's what these shelves are. You got to know this so you can see they lying, and you can't nothing physical. That ping pong ball will never fall down into the honey spot. Nothing gonna enter our little section of this cup. It's based on a law, bro. That law can't be broken. You can rest peacefully in your little section of the Babel Tower. They're lying to you. And I can prove that the firmament is real. So let me know what y'all want me to do first. You want me to play their video first, then debunk them? Or you want me to debunk them, then get into doubling down on it with their video? Put before or after. Before mean I'm going to debunk them before we play the video. After mean we going to play their video, listen to the claims, then debunk them. What order y'all want? Let me know. Before or after? Let me cut the arrow on while y'all vote. Yeah. I think we got more afters. I think we got more afters. Let's go ahead and hear the claim, and then we're going to debunk it. We're going to actually debunk it while we go. And my main little presentation will be after the whole review or reaction to the video. But it's a couple of videos. And this one is Neil deGrasse Tyson. And y'all know we can't play his video. So we're going to just hear his voice. And I will be screen sharing, doing what I got to do, whatever, to debunk whatever claims. Let's go.
Aliens paying us a visit from another star system?
So listen, you got to understand, Neil deGrasse Tyson is a science communicator. Shout out to D-Dub for gifting them 5 memberships. Good look, bro. Neil Tyson is a science communicator, right? And science is allowing him to make claims that real scientists can't make. They got a loophole, y'all. Real scientists are bound to the laws of physics. But these fake scientists like Neil deGrasse Tyson, right? And Bill Nye Makakaku, they can get around physics by saying, yeah, this thing defies the laws of gravity. Ooh, alien technology. And alien technology is the code word for we lied to y'all about what the earth is, and physics is a lie. You can manipulate this reality because it's holographic. You can make technology that's based upon sound, vibration, like Tesla was saying, and it'll make you look like a god with scary power. Or you can say aliens did it. We don't understand that technology. The truth is that we're gonna see some stuff in our lifetime that they just are not gonna be able to explain with physics because they lied to y'all about the nature of our physical reality. And what you're gonna see is man start to manipulate the physical reality in your lifetime. And people are gonna scratch their head on how is this possible, and they're gonna be able to write it all off by saying, it's just alien technology. We didn't do that. Some smarter than us fucking us up, man. It's playing peekaboo, right? It can't fly worth shit because remember, they keep crashing, right? Because they got to make you think, they got to sell you the alien scare. Oh, alien crash here, crash there, to make you believe in them. When you believe in the aliens, they can attack us with aerial technology and say aliens did it. Your beliefs gonna get you in trouble in the end of days. You gonna see why they've been pushing all this stuff. It's all getting up to a certain point. Tesla described technology that can be used from the upper atmosphere. People, they got patents. I'm gonna pull some of this stuff up throughout the stream. And you're gonna find out that the aliens are gonna be using stuff that is strikingly similar to government patents. And the government gonna keep having these kind of imposters go out there tell y'all, that's aliens. You got to be egotistical to think we're alone. Why do y'all care so much that we believe is something else up there? Because it's a sinister agenda that they got. People, this earth have been reset plenty of times. Entire populations of humans just disappeared. They were convincing these humans to believe in spooky doomsday myths, and then they were manifesting those myths in the forms of technology that the people of that time didn't understand. So people was breaking out with sores, illnesses, and the church was telling folks that's the wrath of God. The church wasn't telling folks that's biological warfare carried out by the government, which is the church. See, the church still in charge, which is why every time some disease happen, some experiment, psyop happen, that's the signs of the time. That's God. That's the papacy. That's the false God. That's the God of the Truman Show that was making it so Jim Carrey couldn't see the truth. So he kept controlling the weather, sending a storm at that band. That's weather modification, HARP. That's the false God. That's man playing God with his science and his advanced technology that he won't reveal to nobody. But when he use it on you, he gonna say aliens did it.
Aliens paying us a visit from another star system? Aliens paying us a visit from another star system? What?
Remember that the Pope already said that we're gonna be looking forward to welcoming our interstellar brothers in the future. How did the Pope know that? Because they know the propaganda they gonna see.
What's up with that?
Why do they hate flat Earth? Because you can't have this kind of propaganda with flat Earth. You don't need a planetary defense budget. You don't need trillions of dollars every year going into cash cows to defend us from planetary collisions. Some might hit Earth because God is clumsy. God didn't build this shit right. So you need to pay them a bunch of money to keep these lasers just looking out there just in case some come, they can shoot it out the way. And you really think some out there protecting you? It's a lie. It's free money. Just because y'all believe in space, bro. Real talk, it's a great deception. The Bible warned about it. Look at the symbol they wear, the serpent. NASA in Hebrew means deceive.
Let's go back a few thousand years. Consider that people try to understand the world around them. And in so doing, every time they got to a point that they didn't understand, in came the power of a god. Let's go back to ancient Greece. Storms rose up in the seas. Where did that come from? How? Why? Do they?
But he doing the same thing. Let's say something come into our atmosphere and we don't understand it. You're saying it must be alien. That's the new word for God, right or wrong, y'all? Is that where he's going with this? I hope so.
They have meteorology? No. Do they understand barometric pressure? No. Did they know anything about the atmosphere? No.
Yes, they did. See, that's his job, to come up here and make you think that the ancient people were slow when they're smarter than us. They knew all the secrets of the universe. He couldn't deal with the mind of a Mayan. You think Neil deGrasse Tyson's smarter than an Olmec or a Mayan or an ancient Egyptian? You got to be a star-nated goddamn fool, sir. If you only knew the advanced level of technology that the Tartarians and all them was on, you would know that we living in the past, bro. Computers, all that is old shit. The ancestors was on some real sci-fi movie stuff, man. They lied to y'all, bro. And this is his job, to hide this, the truth about reality, what, where, and how we are, all of that stuff. Let him talk, though. I don't want to talk too much.
But they knew the will of Poseidon. Poseidon would be enraged by the behavior of people on the shores, and that would account for what they saw. This assigning the glory and the wrath of a deity to things we don't understand is coined by philosophers as the God of the gaps. It's actually got quite a noble history when you think of it. One of the greatest works of science ever is Principia Mathematica. In there, Newton unleashes the 3 laws of motion, the laws of gravity.
I'm not finna do all this with him because I don't want to make it a flat earth debate. Let's talk about the topic at hand. He got to give you the indoctrination.
Second half of the 20th century on into the 21st century. What happens? Well, we have Hollywood. Nothing better than a good sci-fi movie with aliens in it. And aliens, they're aliens, so they got better technology than us, better spaceships. They do stuff we can't do. It appears to me that we live in a time where God of the Gaps has been supplanted by Alien of the Gaps.
But that's what everybody doing on the news. That's what NASA doing. Even though Neil deGrasse Tyson saying that, I mean, that is not the mainstream narrative. They all, and what's crazy about it, they're selling us aliens. It's like, why are there condemning behavior that they do themselves? This always strikes me as weird.
I've had people come up to me and say, where did the pyramids come from? And I've said, well, I'm thinking the ancient Egyptians built it. How could they have possibly built that? That's too complicated. They must have gotten help from aliens, Alien of the Gaps. So this urge is strong. And I get it, and I feel it, and I want it to be true as well. I don't want to use it as a substitute for continuing to ask questions about what you're looking at. I don't want to use it as a substitute for the simple statement, I don't know what it is.
Shout out to Flat Erie. Says, bruh, we Irish were promised Bruh, we Irish were promised your beautiful women. Give us back our lucky charms. Flat power regardless. Appreciate you, Flat Erie. Hey, y'all, hit the like and share button. We can't share the screen right now because Star Talk, they send copyrights.
That's powerful. If you don't know how to say, I don't know, that means you're going to walk through life requiring answers to everything. You know something?
So when will you tell that to NASA, though?
Some of those
But when are you going to get to the Comet part, man? He does a lot of blabbering.
system suggest that we might have been born with many more planets than 8. Upwards of a dozen, 15, 20, possibly as many as 30 planets started in this solar system, many of which had unstable orbits, crashed.
Y'all hear that? A bunch of stuff they can't prove is lies. None of the ancients talked about this stuff that he talking about. This is new stuff that come from Freemasons who want you to believe in chaos theory. Who was around? How can they prove it? And I want you to come and tell us that. If I open up the line at the end of this. Shout out to Walk with the Pride. He said reference with the cup, also like an elevator. Gonna need a reservation and still gotta check in before you get that card with penthouse access. Thank you for the love.
Into Jupiter, crashed in the sun, or got ejected.
I wonder when is he gonna see what he doing right now. He's saying that basically our solar system had a bunch of planets and objects that ain't there no more. Things come and go, but over large amounts of time. So it's very possible that something in our time can pass through the solar system or hit Earth or something like that. I guarantee you that's what he about to go to, because he want to keep your mind open in the narrative toward it is very, very possible and likely that something gonna hit the Earth. Doomsday prophecy, right? But we're gonna debunk that even more, show you why it ain't possible, and it's a sinister agenda and a great deception ran on the people in these times. It's unfortunate. Let's see if he's gonna go where I said he's gonna go.
You get ejected with higher speed that could be contained by the sun. They're out there somewhere. We think that happens in every star system that formed. So some of that junk at some point is likely to pass through our star system.
Didn't I tell y'all that? They already primed y'all with space. Once you believe in space, you open up the door for yourself to be attacked by the government. You open, this belief is the trick of the devil when the whole world but don't know the truth about the firmament dome. That was God's promise, man, the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant is literally the firmament dome above your head. If you look at any picture of the Ark, guess what? They are hiding flat Earth cosmology right in front of your face. I'm gonna show y'all what I mean. Watch this. If you pull up the Ark, even Noah's Ark, watch this. Let me see if I can pull up an image of it. The Ark is the flat Earth, man. Look. Now you got two birds making this sort of covering, this dome. The covenant was a covenant. It was a promise that God made to cover us and protect us. And that's why you see the two angels covering the circle of the earth. If you look at this, that's the circle of the earth right there. Right in the middle of the two angels, you got the circle, that's the flat earth, and here go the dome right here above it with the two solar winds, left, right, sun, moon, in a torus field. This is the dome above the flat earth. This was cosmology, y'all. It was cosmology. Here it is right here. You see it? Look at the triangulation of the shape and look at the wings. You see it? It's like a pyramid. That's your Babel Tower. So the ark is the arch. It's the goddess Nut. It's the dome. It was God's promise that we're what? Protected. Go research. Do your research. The Ark of the Covenant represents God's promise to always protect man. And we don't remember God's promise. You forgot the covenant, fool. You fell for the trick of the devil. God told you, listen, whatever built this place, it'll never attack you. Only the people inside of here that's trapped in here gonna play God and attack you in the name of God. With the papacy, with the Pope right with them. Whatever built this place warned you about the deceivers inside of this thing. So we can quit blaming it on the creator of whatever this is. Check this out, right? Whatever this place is, the thing that created it, and I told you, you created this place in your own sleep when you started dreaming of it, but let me not go there. But there is a cosmic covenant, a promise, a pact that's made that in this dream world, there can be no large-scale slaughtering. Who was able to do that, though? The church did with crusades. They was the one to break that rule. But how were they able to convince most of the world to go along with it? The same way they doing now. The church was able to seed propaganda, doomsday propaganda, and literally they had the technology to target people, wipe out, and these great resets are real, man. And what these great resets represent is the fact that the technology is never lost, y'all. The technology is just goes into a cult. When just a few powerful people got the most advanced technology on earth, they ain't gonna tell the rest of us. When they implement that technology, they're gonna act like it's supernatural. They're gonna act like it's alien. They're gonna already put the narratives and propaganda out there to prime everyone leading up to that point, so that when they start coming with this reset weaponry, which they've all, what I'm saying ain't no belief, it ain't no spookism. Resets are something that you can prove, bro. There have been times on this earth where the population went down at a rate that's unexplainable without some sort of advanced technology. If you read about these things, they call it great floods. They try to make it like the wrath of some god, get mad and resetting like with Noah. But with every time, it is a story that's hiding some advanced technology that the wise men of that time uncover. And guess what? The people in power been in power a long time. When the earth get too populated and everybody start waking up, they got to reset everything, because when a few people start waking up, it's just a matter of time for everyone wake up. And when the earth get populated with a bunch of people knowing the truth, you can't have a monopoly on knowledge now. Everybody just gonna spread like a fire. So when you start seeing the knowledge rise up in humanity, which it is, we're in the age of Aquarius. Even the book of Revelation said there will be visions. It said that the mystery of the ages will be revealed in our time. And what that is when a small group of people start realizing they lied to us about everything, the shape of the earth, the world is a stage, your presidents and the news, all of them crisis actors, you in a Truman Show. It's a simulation. When everybody find this out, it's going to be hell. The people ain't going to even care about dying. When they really know the truth, you ain't going to be able to control them folks with fear, because the church wanted people to be scared of death so it can say, if you don't listen to me, you're going to go to hell. But what if you knew when you die, you just wake up from a simulation? People will be like the Japanese kamikaze on the system. When that sink in collectively and we get back to the realization of that, it become a reality. Just think about that, man. You can't really threaten nobody with fear and doomsday and all that with flat earth, which is why there's such a threat to their agenda. And I can prove to y'all, right, that we are enclosed in a firmament dome, but the people told me to wait a minute and play this video first. So at the end of this Neil video, I'll play my video, which proves the firmament dome, and it'll debunk all of this nonsense. Let's get back to this, though. Let's listen. We can't share the video, so just listen.
The solar system. Okay. So, 3 objects have been found in the last decade, okay? 3 of them. And they've had some anomalous features.
And this what y'all gotta realize right off the bat, right? There are several observatories all around the world, and not all of them belong to the Vatican and to NASA. You got independent observatories. You got private observatories. You got observatories in other countries that ain't got nothing to do with the government. This is what you gotta ask yourself. If every damn body looking at the sky, how come the first people to see these comets coming are the space programs, Neil deGrasse Tyson, and all that? Why it ain't no college to break the news first? You know how many colleges with independent observatories, all they do is watch the sky all day is their profession. Every time it's a new object up there, none of the independent observatories see it first. It's always NASA see it first, man. and let me just guess, it's gonna be harder for the independents to track it because they don't got the good equipment. Yeah, right. Yeah, freaking right. This is easy to fake.
Fun. I love it. The first of these, Muamua, discovered with telescopes in Hawaii. That's a Hawaiian word for first scout, basically. So that, as it came through the solar system, we said, all right, we know what trajectory an object with that speed and that direction coming in should take as it rounds the sun. Then there was the actual trajectory, which was different. Like, whoa, whoa. Well, comets have a way of outgassing when they get near the sun, and that puts an extra little sort of force on their arc of motion that has them move in ways that are not purely gravitational. And that's true for all comets. So
you hear that?
We thought maybe
it's moving in a way that ain't gravitational. See, they're already getting your mind set that if the government want to use some blue beam technology, some sort of advanced technology to do an aerial strike on the masses, that shit ain't gonna obey the laws of physics. And you're gonna realize physics was all a lie. The earth ain't what you think it is, bro. You've been lied to since a baby. You can manipulate reality in this place. It's a hollow spirit simulation. And it has its laws to it, but it ain't based on physics because it ain't physical. Which means if you really start manipulating this thing on a light-based level and dealing with it like the hologram that it is, some of y'all will trip out. You'll be like, what the fuck? Where am I? Where am I? What is this? It's an illusion. It's a dream world. If everybody found that out, they'll go crazy. They wouldn't be able to keep power, bro. People will trip. You mean to tell me we're inside of a fucking simulation? All the religions would be rewritten. But people will realize that the religion's been telling y'all this the whole time in their own way. But the whole thing is this. They got to have great resets because over time, this earth get overpopulated. And then with the new emergence of all these new humans comes these new paradigm shifts and awakenings, each one teaching one. And they got to reset the entire earth because to get it back down to a controllable number where they can dumb the masses back down for another couple of thousands of years. because that's when these resets take place every couple of thousands of years. We do for one, but it ain't gonna be a natural disaster. You can predict these things, which is what the Mayan was doing. Because the Mayan was saying the people that took control over this earth, they reset it every now and then to a point where the Mayans was studying it, giving you a pattern of when each reset gonna be. They wrote it down.
That's outgassing. But suppose you look and there's no outgassing. So what's going on? Well, that's fun. We don't understand it. Not initially. So what's your first thought? Is it aliens? That could be. Like I said, it's not my first thought.
You notice how our scientists never know nothing? I keep telling y'all that. They get paid to say, we don't know. With music in the background. Look at this setup. Now, this is a fucking religion and a cult, y'all. It ain't a reality. They're mind fucking you, man. And if they can get enough people on board, they can carry out this thing. Check this out, right? This man is sitting up with music on. He got the time stamps on the video. He got the beautiful thumbnail. If this was a scientist that really thought that the world, life on Earth was about to be over, you think this would be this edited? Do you think a nigga like Neil deGrasse Tyson will be presenting it? Or would it be a military official? People, listen to me. It's the DOD's responsibility to police aerospace, right? And not only that, to keep the citizens updated with what's going on in the aerospace environment, right? And if there's a threat coming in, it ain't gonna be Makai Kaku and Neil deGrasse Tyson. It's gonna be a 5-star general on CNN. People, that's how it will come off in the real world scenario. This is a damn psyop with actors involved. And there's been a lot of psyops lately. People, you gotta look at what they telling you. They telling you that the world is about to freaking end. And they're doing it on a very well edited YouTube video in a calm voice. Seem like you're reading a script. You got the music in the background. Listen to the music.
I promise you, it will be my last thought. But it's not in the list. It's in the list. It's just...
You see what I'm saying? This is a man that's letting you know that the world about to end. I'm not convinced. This is not the way this would happen, y'all. This is a damn simulation we in, bro. Wake up. If you was in a real world and not this fake simulation that we in, that's full of psyops with the TV giving you a Truman Show. If you was in a real world, you know, it would definitely be a DOD official relaying this information. Go back and watch Independence Day. That's a movie with Will Smith and the other guy. When the aliens came, the president, everybody was up on CNN. Even they knew back then how it would be when we get a visitation or any kind of doomsday scenario. It ain't gonna be Neil deGrasse Tyson. Are you serious? It's not gonna be Makai Kaku. Whenever you see Bill Nye, Makai Kaku and all them, you know you dealing with a damn Masonic psyop. Don't get your feathers ruffled until you hear from a government official. And even then, guess what? Don't get them ruffled, because all of them at the top are working with the agenda.
Way down, based on the history.
But the point is, this is easy to tell it's a psyop because you're not going to be presenting no doomsday scenario to the world through Bill Nye the Science Guy. Come on, man, where the real scientists at? These three dudes are like the loophole to where they want to sell us these agendas, right? But they can't have a legitimate real scientist do it because that person got legit credentials they can lose, right? If you got a person that's in a certain astronomy department at Yale, they can't be on the news talking about aliens. It's certain things, if you legit, you just can't speak on like Neil doing. So you're not good for selling and no agenda if you the real deal. When people say like when the COVID came out, when the pandemic happened, they had politicians telling y'all to get the stuff, and they didn't have the credentials. They can see, if I'm a doctor and I'm selling you something that I know is medically wrong, I can have another person sell it to you. And I can get me like a Neil deGrasse Tyson, and they will come along and say, yeah, it will enhance your stamina. They'll make all of these claims that I can't make. I can't make them claims because I'm a real doctor. But if I wanted to sell you a pseudo health product, but I didn't want to take the accountability for the non-scientific claims I'm making, I would have a Neil deGrasse Tyson in a medical form. But in the science form, they give you Bill Nye, Neil Tyson, they give you Macaque Kaku. Those are like front men. They're not real scientists. They are science communicators. But the reason for science communicators is because they just can't have real scientists sell y'all these agendas of aliens, doomsday, the Bible and stuff, and gets involved, you know. But they want to. The real government want to sell y'all these agendas, but it just can't do it with a real scientist. Because a real scientist can't speak in like how Neil doing and not have some sort of, you're going to get checked for that. You're going to get disciplined for that. Aliens and all, oh yeah, your peers. You see, but the government needs someone that can go sell us UAP, alien talk, that can really go and sell you these agendas and it still be respected like a authority, like a scientist. That's when you get the science guy. That's the fucking fake scientist. But the real scientist is gonna back these guys up, but in their own language so that they can cover their ass. But see, the language that a real scientist would use to speak on aliens is just ain't good enough for the agenda, because a real scientist would have to say, we can't prove the existence of aliens, therefore we can't speak on it definitively or in a way to even induce fear or anything. But if you want a fear propaganda campaign ran around UAPs and aliens because you got an agenda coming down the line and you know you're going to be rolling out this advanced technology on the masses like what you did in California with them wildfires that people still thinking is nature. And I'm like, why the hell nature mad at all the poor people? Nature don't never get mad at the rich people. Why the fuck? Okay, so God gonna come back to the earth and the people God gonna be destroying are the people that's the most faithful, not the devils and demons who live in the hills. They don't get hit with the direct energy weapons. They don't get hit with the pollution what the people in Tennessee getting hit with was making their lungs get cancers in the hood because Elon ain't billing it in the rich folks community. See, but no, let the mayor come out, you know, let the conspiracy theorists come out, right? It's a sign of the times. That's God. Okay, so God wanna fuck with, just like when Hurricane Katrina happened. You know that's God. That's God's wrath. It's the sign of the times. Okay, why God ain't coming back literally fighting his ops? God coming back beating up his own damn people. That don't make sense. Like, listen, how much sense that make? God coming back to the earth to wage war on the devil, supposedly. But he's starting with the saints. I told you, that's the false God. People keep saying that's God. The Bible told y'all, when people say, there go God, here go God, believe them not. Many people are going to say, God is in the mountains. He's coming over here. God did this. God did that. I just went over that in the previous stream. You're going to hear that in these end of days. God going to be blamed for a lot of evil stuff when God told you that the devil was going to be in charge these days. Y'all stupid. God told you in the Bible the devil was going to be in charge, but yet you're going to keep blaming God for this evil because you listen to these dumb folks. Now check this out, right? They can't tell you this with a real scientist. It got to go through the science guy. Okay, and I just gave you the scam. Let's see what else he's saying. I can't wait to debunk this stuff and show you that we're enclosed, because when I show you that, it debunks all of this stuff.
History of trying to understand things that we don't understand.
Shout out to you, Carl Scott. Thank you for the super chat.
We have 2 more objects that have come through, and they have some weird properties. The brightness, the rotation rate, and so they don't match.
It is not Neil deGrasse Tyson's job to be doing this. How is he doing the job of a DOD official? You know what the DOD stand for, y'all? The Department of Defense. Guess what, y'all? The department that be responsible for this is called the Planetary Defense Department. The Planetary Defense Department make trillions of dollars every year from tax money just so it can have, it's telling y'all it's defending us. We out here looking for these rocks, and if a rock come, we gonna batter up, deflect that motherfucker. Like the planetary defense system is a scam. It's a scam, man. If you understand that we are enclosed in a firmament dome, we wouldn't be giving them people $1 trillion a year just to police the sky. And you really think it's a bunch of equipment up there floating around at high speeds, the speeds of bullets. This equipment is orbiting the Earth at the speed 4-5 times the speed of a bullet. And at that fast, it can shoot a rock out the way.
Stupid.
Going that fast is going around the Earth like this in a constant orbit. Just imagine a gun orbiting the Earth, loaded, ready to shoot in case some come. You got an orbiting security guard, and you paying them trillions of dollars a year to sit up there going in circles with a gun like this. He going way faster than that, though. He's spinning around with a gun, and you got a bunch of them orbiting the Earth. Just see, I wish I would see a rock coming into this atmosphere. Pop, 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 pop. And you believe that. You paying into that. Your beliefs are fucking expensive, man. Y'all got some expensive ass beliefs.
That's right.
Y'all beliefs are costly and they're dangerous. They opening up the door for this reset. People, the Planetary Defense Department is part of the DOD. Why the hell is Neil deGrasse Tyson talking to us about 2 objects that's entering into our solar system that we need to be defended from? Because it's a scam. The Planetary Defense Department is a big government scam. People, it's corruption in high places. This can get me off. This can get your boy taken out. They attacking the flat earth for a reason, bro. Why the hell is Bill Nye and Makakaku doing the job of the Planetary Defense Department? Let's listen.
Match some of our models for what comets and asteroids should do. Whatever anomalous behavior these objects exhibit, I'm delighted that they're finally in the catalog, and we'll figure it out one day, maybe. And while my first thought is not that it's aliens, I promise you that is one of my thoughts, but it'll be last on the list. It's easier for me to...
Okay, so I'm telling y'all right now, Neil is part of the agenda. I know how this gonna play out. He's gonna be sold on aliens in the end, and he's gonna come aboard and ridicule anyone else that don't. But it don't have to be alien. It can be just a rock. If they want to strike you with aerial technology, they can say it wasn't an alien. It was a big comet that broke apart in the upper atmosphere. And all of them big pieces hit the ground, boom, you getting bombed by the government. They can make it look like Gaza in Chicago. I'm gonna say that again. The technology that the government got, they can do an aerial attack and they can make motherfucking Brooklyn look like the Gaza Strip tomorrow. It'll be raining fire from the heavens like the book of Revelation told you. They got that technology. If they wanted to do that, they can say, hey, that wasn't us. That was a comet. That was a comet that broke apart, and all of them little missiles that you saw, that was the comet broke apart. If they want to attack us. Because look at what they telling you. Like, you can't tell the difference between what they showing and a missile attack in Gaza in the sky. Let me see if I can find some of that propaganda they was putting out there. I'll show you the actual picture. I'm gonna go to Macaca video next. And everybody got their own story. Ain't no consistency with it. That's how you know it's a psyop. Some scientists said that it's in between Jupiter and some scientists say that it's passing Jupiter. Some scientists say it's near the sun. What I'm tripping off, if all of y'all tracking this object, how come ain't nobody consistent on where the hell it's at? Wait till I share my receipts. People saying all different answers. It's a clusterfuck. Is it alien, non-alien? Is it over here, over? It's the biggest psyop ever. It don't gotta make sense. All they need you to do is be scared of something up here, and it ain't us. So when some star striking y'all from the sky, it ain't us, and we already told you. That's like a dude telling a woman, hey, baby, if somebody dressed in all black catch you tomorrow tonight slipping in that alley and grape you, it wasn't me. It's definitely you, nigga. It's definitely you. The only one warned me about it, and then it happened. Didn't nobody else see it coming but you, sir. So I don't want to hear Neil video no more. I'm about to play Kaku video, and then I'm going to debunk the idea that they presenting by showing y'all we are enclosed, like the Bible said. The Ark of the Covenant, the firmament dome is real, and I'm going to prove we're enclosed in the dome. After I play Macaw display.
Or it would release some mini probes, and or it will broadcast some signal, or it will have some artificial lights. coming off it, not just reflection of sunlight.
For months, amateur astronomers around the world had been tracking 3I Atlas, the third interstellar object after Oumuamua and Borisov Dato, capture its unusual phenomenon that changes every week. But the story began with an amateur astronomer named Leslie Peltier watching from a hillside in northern Chile. He had been tracking the interstellar object for weeks using a 40-inch research-grade telescope equipped with a...
So this dude named Leslie was the first one to find 3I Atlas with a telescope in his backyard, even though we got all of these observatories around the world.
Stupid.
Let that sink in. A dude named Leslie got every scientist talking, every astronomer talking, Neil talking. It's all on the news, and ain't nobody mentioning Leslie's name. Because Leslie is the fall guy. Because you can't have a legitimate observatory come out here with this psyop and this big lie, this propaganda. All of these expensive observatories around the world, and a dude in his backyard with a 40-inch telescope just found the comet that's gonna end the whole world.
Stupid.
I look like Boo Boo the Food, don't I? Yeah, if I believe this shit, nigga.
object for weeks using a 40-inch research-grade telescope equipped with a cryogenically cooled CMOS camera and a high...
Shout out to Noble Light. He said, you cooking, bro, and I ain't even got into the debunk yet. Thank y'all for the support, Flat Power.
High-precision tracking rig tied into NASA's ephemeris data. Nothing unusual at first, just a fast-moving body from deep space, its green tail glowing from carbon monoxide and nickel emissions. Discovered only the week before, but in mid-September, everything changed. On the morning of September 19th at exactly 2 a.m. UTC, his screen showed something that made him freeze. Around the main emerald streak of 3I Atlas, 9 smaller points appeared, dim but distinct, moving in perfect lockstep with the main body. In his images, they looked like fireflies around a lantern. He posted the frames online on several astronomer forums, but at first, most professionals dismissed them as noise or cosmic rays. Over the next 48 hours, however, the James Webb Space Telescope, Hubble, the Very Large Telescope in Chile, and the Keck Observatory in Hawaii all confirmed the same thing. These are instruments designed to...
Y'all believe that? I don't. At all. At all. It's all part of... And I can't wait to debunk this by showing you nothing can enter this Earth from so-called space. Wait till we get to the firmament dome section. I got a video queued up that I made right here. And it's the firmament where I'm gonna prove we're enclosed. I recommend everybody watch this video. I'm gonna let Makai get his cook on.
Measure the faintest galaxies at the edge of the universe, so they do not hallucinate. But what made it so terrifying was the uniformity. Spectral reports showed all 9 objects shared the same speed, same trajectory, and the same strange green tinted tail as 3I Atlas, confirming they were not from our solar system. Until that moment, every professional and amateur astronomer had seen only one object. Now, there were 10. Spectroscopy further revealed that all 9 carried the same metal-rich signature: nickel, cobalt, and high-temperature alloys like the 3I Atlas, and the same unusual carbon monoxide-driven glow. But what was distinguishable from 3I Atlas was that Earth was about 1/10 the size of 3I Atlas, yet apparently powered by a nuclear core twice as powerful. The math alone made scientists nervous. 3I Atlas had already puzzled them, with an estimated 10 gigawatt power source, inferred from its thermal profile and tail behavior. But the 9 companions seemed to pump out...
I want Makai to go into his spiel, but just understand, people, what we're looking at are CGI images. Now, y'all think these are actual photos. The average person don't have a telescope. And if you did, trying to track this object may be a needle in a haystack. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not worried about the Earth ending through some cosmic cataclysm, natural disaster. I know it's going to be government technology cloaked under this kind of propaganda.
20 gigawatts each, a figure that defies physics. A fusion reaction of that scale inside such a small body would destroy it. Even our most advanced reactors cannot match that.
I'm not trying to get into the baloniness of the science. I want to debunk specific claims. I'm ready to get to my debunk section, so I want to skip around. I'm getting impatient. Hold on.
These could be autonomous drones mapping our system, or to take something valuable from our
They just speculating on, could it be advanced alien technology spying on us? Could it be a rock? You know, they going into mysticism. That's part of the propaganda and the psyop. You know, and they gonna bring in a lot of the doomsday myths and all that. But Makai Kaku, I can tell you what he said. I got his claims written, but I want to actually play his portion. It
solar system. But others, like Michio Kaku, offered a more natural explanation. He suggested that 3I Atlas could be a comet-like object that collided with a massive interstellar rock. Because 3I Atlas's body is much stronger than normal, moving at over 60 kilometers per second, the impact could have shattered it into fragments that retain the same speed and trajectory. In this scenario, the smaller pieces are super dense chunks of the original body, absorbing its kinetic energy. But Ave Loeb responded that in such a case, the fragments would not be powered like miniature reactors. No known rock and split into 9.
Okay, let me go into something real quick.
Plans ranging from interception to planetary defense scenarios. China's National Space Administration has reportedly repurposed its Heavy Lift Long March 9 program to design a high-velocity interceptor. The European Space Agency is dusting off blueprints from its defunct Don Quixote asteroid deflection mission. Even private companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin have been approached about rapid launch platforms for reconnaissance probes. Despite
Okay, so again, more government contracts, more of your money to protect you from shit that don't exist, basically. But now let's play a video. This video will show you we are enclosed in a firmament dome. None can get in here, none can get out of here. So I'm gonna just hit play and I'll explain the video as I go. Now, a lot of y'all might be saying, Sanchez, what do you mean by there are so many signs around us to let us know that we're in an enclosed environment? How can we scientifically prove the firmament dome like the Quran just said? How can we do that with science? How can we prove that we are in an enclosed environment? So here's a conception of how the ancient Hebrews described the earth and the cosmos. That we're in like this sort of a plasma ball, and that it's halfway filled, and that at the middle of this plasma ball, there's some sort of accumulation of plasma phenomena that we call the northern lights, and eventually all of this climaxes into what we call the North Pole, which was to the ancestors, it would have been like the middle of a plasma ball. When you look at a plasma ball, all of the plasma phenomena is coming from the middle of the ball. This is the same concept they give us with the Big Bang theory of how the entire universe is basically an explosion of light. Light is plasma, and that this expansion of light expanded from a singular source. And they don't want to tell you what caused the Big Bang because they don't want to let everyone know that the universe is intelligently designed. There is no such thing as space. All of the other planets and stars and all that is within the firmament dome. It's nothing out there. And that's going to lead to in a minute when I go into why we can't see stars from space, because it's all inside of the firmament. But to stay on track, our entire universe is like a plasma ball, and the Earth is one big circle that's splitting the universe, that's in the middle of the universe, just like all of the ancients described. You can see they all resemble a plasma ball and an enclosed system where all of the light phenomena and plasma phenomena is a result of gases being enclosed, just like neon lights in Las Vegas. But we finna get into the science of that in a minute. So how can we prove that we are in a plasma ball-like system? We can prove it by studying plasma phenomena. So one of the most mysterious types of plasma events on Earth is Sprites. And Sprites is a dead giveaway that we live in an enclosed system that's very similar to a plasma ball. Now, these quote-unquote red sprites, as they call them, is the result of a concoction of certain gases under pressure. And that's the exact same science behind a plasma ball. The pressure is created by the enclosure itself. The gases can't go anywhere. They're being trapped into a confined space because there are invisible layers in the atmosphere that separate certain gases on certain levels. And just like the star in a jar experiment, it requires an enclosure so that you can put the gases under enough pressure to create the light. This is the simple foundation of sonoluminescence. We can't have sprites in the sky if we're not enclosed. And the science behind how these sprites are formed is the same science behind how the tentacles in a plasma ball is formed. I call them tentacles, but the correct name is plasma filaments. And what they are streams of ionized gas that appear as visible tendrils of light within the ball, and they're created by the interaction of the electric field with the gas molecules inside. And you can't have none of this if the gases were just allowed to escape off into space. In order for this concoction to take place and for the right amount of pressure to be achieved, you need an enclosed system. So the filaments in a plasma ball is showing us what sprites are on Earth. And people, I'm giving you real science that's based upon what we observe in our reality. The exact same science behind sprites is the exact same science behind plasma ball filaments. Exactly the same. So a person may be saying, still, how does that prove we're enclosed? Because just because you showing us that sprites may be the same thing as plasma ball filaments, which they are, how does that prove we're enclosed? Well, if you look at a plasma ball, you cannot have plasma filaments without the glass, without the enclosure. That's why they sell this ball with a glass. If you remove that glass, it won't even be able to work. And here goes some videos to prove my point right here. Let's watch them.
This is my plasma ball. It was $12 from thinkgeek.com. I was wondering what it would be like without the glass. So today I will break the glass and turn it on to see. Okay, I'm going to break it now. Ready, set, go. Nothing's happening.
If you look at this black part of the plasma ball, that's like a Tesla coil. And it's like what's at the North Pole. And basically, the whole glass ball is like the atmosphere, trapping all the gases under this pressure system so you can have lightning and sprites and all that. It's like a neon phenomenon, like neon lights in Vegas. You break the glass, you allow the gas to escape. Now you can't have no light. Globe earthers cannot argue with me on this. You know why? Most of them don't know what'll happen if you break a plasma ball, which is where I get these videos from, globe earthers. Right. They gotta break their plasma ball to learn you can't have a plasma phenomena without if you let the gases out. That's what's creating your filaments. But I was there at some point. Let's watch the video.
So does that prove that it needs the glass around it, that it needs the air tightness or something?
So what can we learn about this video? That a plasma ball can't work without the glass enclosure, because that's what traps the gas inside, and it allows for the pressure to build up. It also allows for the right gases to mix with each other to even make this plasma ball phenomena possible. But this shows you the science of how gases can become light, just like a red Sprite. The base of most of these red Sprites are giving me science and a creator behind the science, because what they've done, is giving you a lot of you is that when lightning gets so intense and the pressure is so high, then from these blue jets, you can form a red Sprite. The base of most of these red Sprites are gigantic blue jets. Another way you can look at how the blue jet forms the red Sprite is to simply strike a lighter. And if you look at the lighter flame, you will see that the red fire is on top of the blue jet. The base of the fire of the flame from your lighter is blue. And then the top part of that is the red part. So these strikes are literally strikes. They're literally called strikes for a reason. Like you lighter strike, lightning strike is like the same phenomena happening in the atmosphere. But they don't tell you this. It's so much about this earth they don't tell us, and our ignorance to that is how they're gonna be manipulating us in the end of days with a lot of this blue beam technology, passing it off as aliens and all of that. But this just debunked the idea that something can enter or exit the earth, because we're enclosed, y'all. We're enclosed. Can't nothing break through the dome, otherwise we can't even have. If something break the dome, sprites will stop happening. The entire atmosphere will leak out. Light will all of the light in this place will cease to exist. It's all plasma-based phenomena based upon pressure in the atmosphere. So it's, they can't run these kind of psyops, and they can't have these resets for ages and dumb down the masses to this level without giving you the globe model. But let me go ahead and debunk this whole. I want to show y'all some inconsistencies with this, right? So let me go through real quick. Hold on. So there is some confusion in popular and let me see here. It is some confusion in popular and informal reports about where 313I Atlas is. And that's why I'm telling you it's a bunch of BS. So it's a bunch of different sources covering this. A lot of them are legitimate science sources, legitimate news outlets. People think Makakaku, Neil, all them is legit. I keep using the word legit, but I don't know why. I mean, the news outlets are all illegit because they're liars. But you know what I mean. They are the legit, right? But anyway, 3I Atlas supposed to be an interstellar comet entering the solar system, and its closest approach to the sun is expected to be around October the 29th and 30th. And so people are already saying it's near the sun. You can look this up yourself. I'm just saying, watch this. If they can't get the lie straight, watch this. Listen, they lying. They can't get their lie straight. Listen.
A nuclear-powered spacecraft sent by aliens to test how humans respond.
Astronomers are stunned as interstellar visitor 3. iAtlas continues to defy predictions, growing.
You see that? 3I Atlas just keep getting bigger and brighter near the sun. You see that? You see? Makakaku warns 3I Atlas has accelerated towards Earth. Is it near the sun? Is it coming toward Earth? Is it near Jupiter? A new object is racing 3I Atlas to the sun. Is it headed to the sun, or is it near the sun? Is inconsistencies. Shout out to OD123. Thanks for everything you do, brother. Love you, big dog. Love you too, man. Appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all for everything y'all do. Real talk, man. I just, this position that I'm in, thank y'all for it, man. But yeah, this is crazy right here. I'm glad I can be the one to open up y'all eyes to this deception, because it's so easy for me to see through it and debunk it. And I'm going to arm you with all of the arguing points you're going to need to go out there and be a warrior for truth. But it says here, and you want to always look for the inconsistencies in these psyops and stuff, right? So on one claim, they say it's accelerating towards the Earth. On another claim, Makakaku said that this thing, he was the one said it's accelerating toward Earth. But if you go to NASA official page, it says the opposite. It says its closest approach to the Earth is 1.8 AU, which is 170 million miles. That's safely far. It poses no threat to the Earth at all, according to NASA. So listen what I'm telling y'all right here now. Let me pull this up. Look. Let me pull this up for y'all. My computer's freezing. I hate when it does that. Good. Oh, okay. No, it ain't. That's me. Look at here. You can pull it up. Comet 3I Atlas. I don't believe none of this, but I'm finna show y'all the inconsistencies though. If you go to NASA's official website, it don't say nothing about doomsday. Remember what I told y'all. If this thing was gonna hit Earth, then the Department of Defense would be talking to y'all, not Makakaku and Neil Tyson, man. If this thing was a real threat, it'll be coming from NASA or the DOD, the Air Force or something. Not these shields. All of them shields. Because they allowed to go up there and spew that, and they gonna sit back and let it happen because that's part of the agenda to keep everybody pockets laced. See, the thing about this scam that the government running at the Planetary Defense Department, in order to keep that cash cow going, they gotta keep the people scared of something hitting the Earth. They got to always remind you why you need your planetary defense budget. Because they up there protecting you from stuff like this, monitoring it, right? But it's a big scam and a cash cow, $1 trillion scam, per year scam. We protecting you from comments. We monitoring this stuff. when you can't, the firmament dome can't nothing even get through here. What are you talking about? But the thing is this right here. The legit agencies that take your tax money to protect you from stuff that don't exist, they can't go out there and scare you. So in other words, there's this situation where the legit agencies like NASA, which take your tax dollars from you to keep these fear-based programs open, they can't go out there on the news and scare you themselves. Can you imagine a dude from NASA going up there doing what Neil doing, what Makai doing, putting fear propaganda out there when they know ain't nothing gonna happen? But the government want this fear propaganda out there, which is why they ain't gonna flag them for fake news. See, the government can't give you the fear propaganda because a true DOD official, bro, it'll be so many legalities and that. You can have, it'll be so many liabilities on a government behalf, on NASA behalf. These are real public agencies. This is the entity that is directly receiving the tax dollars for these bogus programs. But these people ain't speaking on it. They send out Neil deGrasse Tyson, Makai Kaku, and all them. And you wonder why. Because a true government authority cannot participate in social media scams and hoaxes, but that's what it's doing. And you know it's doing it because if this is true that some gonna hit the earth, why ain't NASA and the DOD breaking that through CNN? That's a defense concern. DOD, not a Neil deGrasse Tyson concern. So ain't nothing gonna happen, man, to the earth. And if some do happen, it's a government planned attack with some advanced technology. But the fact that they ain't flagging that, saying, hey, that's quit fear mongering. It ain't coming near the earth, right? It's 107 million miles away from the earth. 170 million miles away. I don't believe in none of this stuff, by the way. But NASA can't be putting doomsday shit on their website. But they ain't gonna stop they puppets from doing it because it's all part of the, you see you see what they doing? See, they ain't gonna go out there and be the face of this agenda because they the entity that's literally collecting the money from it. That's like if I'm a big corporation and I'm profiting off a certain product, I'm gonna have another dude be the face of making any claims or anything about the product. It'll be less liability on me. And now he can take some of that liability. And of course, I'm gonna pay him a big fee, which is how Neil deGrasse Tyson and all them get paid. Because what happens is when people find out it's all a lie, the government can always say, that's them. That's the front man. That's them. But you let them do that and you didn't censor them, right? And you only now concerned when we find out his bullshit. Go figure. All y'all was working together. He was your front man. Yeah, let me read some more of this though for you. On NASA's website, they say that this thing poses no threat to Earth. But let all of these cats tell it, we don't know. It could be alien. They're gonna give you the music in the background with the heavily edited stuff. If they thought they was gonna die, they wouldn't have edited that video that good. They would have went live right there on their phone like, yo, you know there's a comet coming into Earth. You better go hug your loved ones. You better do what you're going to do for the next couple of years because, you feel me? They like, bro, let me get my Premiere Pro open with my transitions and my sound effects and background music to let them know we all about to die. Y'all funny. So it's so many inconsistencies on where the thing at. Some sources say it's near Jupiter. Watch this. Watch this. Look at here. Some sources say that it's near Jupiter. And I want to find those real quick. And, you know, I will say it is the AI overview. Like it says, interstellar comet 3I Atlas is currently passing through Jupiter's orbit. And scientists are planning to use the Juno spacecraft to intercept and study the comet in March 2026 as it makes its closest approach. Right? So we do got accounts that saying it's near Jupiter. And here. But it can't be near Jupiter and the sun. We got other accounts saying that it's supposed to be making contact with Mars. It's a big clusterfuck, man. Let me see. They really didn't get together on this one to get this thing together, you know.
A nuclear-powered spacecraft sent.
So, yeah, you got people saying it's near the sun, and that because it's near the sun, it's causing the sun to erupt. But you know people just making up stuff because NASA said it's near Jupiter. So this person channel got 50,000 views talking about it's near the sun. You can see the sun on their video. And it says here on Voyager, the Army released NASA footage of Atlas near the sun. Look at here.
A nuclear-powered spacecraft sent by aliens to test how humans respond.
The US Army just dropped bombshell NASA footage showing the mysterious 3I Atlas object behaving like nothing we've ever seen before. This isn't your typical space.
And so the footage showed the object near the sun, as you can see here. But let's go to other sources. Let's go to, and here go the AI overview showing you other sources saying it's near Jupiter. All right. So they even said they're going to be using the Juno equipment to study it. Y'all can look that up. Here it is. Intercepting 3I Atlas at closest approach to Jupiter with the Juno spacecraft. This is from Cornell University, so that's a very big university. Yeah, Cornell, hell yeah. This is from Cornell right here, bro. Put some respect on that. You see that? No, y'all can't see that. Let me get my window captured. Yeah, I got to let y'all see that. For those who it matter to. This from Cornell. Cornell says it's near Jupiter. The Army say it's near the sun. Let's see, 3I Atlas. Now, Makakaku said 12 days ago it could hit Mars. Like, this is crazy. If it's gonna hit Mars, it gotta be close to Mars, but I mean, I'm assuming they saying on the path. Hold on.
We've got some fresh images of 3I Atlas, a third ever interstellar object observed from Earth, currently racing through our solar system now. Astronomers have captured that moment live, streaming in real time around the globe of them watching all this. Take a look at this.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
Yes, look at that bad boy.
3i Atlas isn't behaving like any ordinary space object. It's defying basic physics and closing in on Earth. Major observatories around the world.
You heard him. This man said it's closing in on Earth, right? But NASA websites say that it poses no major threat to Earth. That's literally on their website. See how people using this to, you see, if they thought this was really closing in on Earth, would they be making fully edited videos or saying, hey guys, I think I'm leaving YouTube. We only got about 2-3 more years left to live. You know that comet coming. I ain't got time to be putting music behind my videos and going through all this editing and YouTubing. We about to die. It's just amazing to me that y'all telling us we all about to die in such an edited way. Like, and you're not dramatic, you know, you're calm, you're in your reporter voice, like all while the comet is approaching and you got your suit on, your tie on with your little bit of microphone, your background music, and you're letting us know, yeah, we're all about to die in about 2-3 years. Yeah, it's approaching, it's right about here. It's about to hit the Earth. Hey, did you edit that clip out? I don't like that background music. Change the background music. Yeah, we're all about to die in about 2 years and boom, 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 boom. Crazy. You taking it very well, sir. Shout out to Mama. In the ocean, not the sky. It's the reflection from the water from the ocean you see in the sky. Everything is a lie that we was taught. Facts. Let's debunk this nonsense, y'all. So some people say it's finna hit Mars real soon. Some people say it's about to be approaching the sun or it's already near the sun. Some people say it's near Jupiter. Too many inconsistencies, man. Too many. Hold on a second, y'all.
Have abandoned other projects to focus solely on this mystery. Is this just an extraordinary coincidence, or is something or someone deliberately trying to get our attention?
And you know what else about this thing I forgot to tell you? I'm glad. I knew it was something I meant to tell you. So they say, because a lot of the people that's saying 3i Atlas is near the sun right now, mind you, people going outside in the daytime looking at the sun, trying to find an object. So guess what their answer, their response is? The sun is so bright, it's blocking the object out. Oh my God! It's right there near the sun, but you ain't gonna be able to see it when it passed the sun and none of that. You never gonna see it. You ain't gonna see it. You gonna go out there every day and look at the sun and they gonna be telling you, oh, it's just past the sun. And I'm like, but I didn't see that. That's because the sun's so bright you don't see it. The sun's so bright I should see it. No, you just, that's a mindful. No, wait a minute. The closer it get to the sun, the less I see it. But I didn't see it creeping in from the side. If the sun is here, over time, it should be slowly approaching the sun like this. And it should disappear. The closer it get to the sun, it's gonna be hid by the sunlight, the glare of the sun. And they're gonna say, now you can't see it. But just for you to say, it's near the sun, everybody, and we look at the sun and can't see it, well, the sun too bright for you to see it. Well, when it was approaching the sun, we didn't see it. See, what it is the government gonna attack y'all with advanced weapons. And they gonna say, that's 3i Atlas. That's a comet that broke apart and bombed that damn Po City. I bet you these comets only fall in Po areas. I bet you these motherfucking comets only fall in places where they want land grabs. This gonna be the new form of attack. You saw what happened in Cali with the direct energy weapons. They opening up the door for aerial attacks. This is indistinguishable from a missile attack when you see the tails of all these comets whistling in like big skyrockets hitting the ground, man. These things huge, big ass, the size of goddamn buildings. Just, you know, not buildings, but the size of a school bus, the size of a car, boom. Coming in at these ridiculous speeds that when it hit the ground, it just shake, you know, like I said, they using these missiles in overseas. They got this new technology they're gonna be using from the upper atmosphere, man. It can target so many people from that height. It can get large amount of areas. And so if you want a reset, if you want a depopulation agenda, you want aerial-based technology that can do significant damage. That would have to be some very advanced technology that's been implemented from an aerial attack. And if you wanted to do that to the masses, you would have to already prime them with a narrative to say, it ain't me. If you see something like that happening, it's aliens, or it's a rock or a comet. Again, you kind of telling on yourself if people can read between the lines. Because if it was a real threat to everyone, the DOD would be involved. So if it's just a threat to the public and a military psyop, some government sinister plan, it'll be rolled out just like we see here, in my opinion. But you know, that's all I got is my opinion, my research, my theories, you know. But I know ain't no natural cataclysm happening. It's all man-made. It's, you know. So let me see here. If people want to, actually, no, I'm not gonna really have time to open up the call lines, but I do want to thank everyone that supported the show. I got to get out of here. I've been streaming all day. Shout out to everyone that sent in super chats, all of the Patreons, all of my channel members. I'll be going live again to keep y'all updated with all these events. They all tied together for this New World Order agenda, this World Economic Forum agenda. Keep sharing this truth. I'll see y'all on the next one.